What if you woke up and you had no dick, no balls, and you found out you got turned into a lolly by your older sister? That's right, the only anime ever made where a Discord moderator becomes his own profile picture. Totally not relatable at all. Despite the very edgy look of this anime that you've got to see on Twitter, and also some of the jailbaitability of the literal intro, this anime is actually very interesting and also very funny. And I'll explain to you in this video why Onimai is actually good and not just pure fucking lolly jailbait. Now, there are some of you on the internet who may want to call me very bad things for insisting that this anime is actually good. Honestly, trust me, this anime is fucking brilliant. So the story, as I said before, is basically just this guy who's basically the self-proclaimed home security officer called Mahiro is basically a shut-in who likes to jerk off, read manga and play video games, which sounds exactly like me. And basically, his sister is very fed up with this, so she gives him a bottle of Coca-Cola, you know, just because you kind of asked for it, and he drinks it, and when he wakes up in the morning, he's got no dick, no balls, and now he's a lolly. So, now you're probably thinking, why the hell did she change him into a lolly? Well, you see, it was actually just meant to change his gender, but it just so happened to also turn him into a lolly, which happens to be very much by coincidence. And also, not a coincidence, his sister is actually a scientist. And as soon as Mahiro finds out that she's a girl, Mihari, his older sister, walks in and proceeds to tell him that the female orgasm is 100 times better than the male orgasm, and with that information, I'm now transgender. See, it also turns out that actually turning him, Mahiro, back into a girl was basically just actually Mihari trying to rehabilitate Mahiro back to society, and I see no problems with this plan at all coming up later in the anime. Throughout the anime, we actually get a small glimpse into Mahiro's past where he or she talks about how Mihari was actually better than her in every single way in school and stuff, which basically led him feeling inferior to his younger sister and basically just led him to spend most of his time just playing video games, reading manga and reading some really questionable stuff. And obviously, meanwhile, all this is happening, his sister, Mihari, actually felt really bad about this because he did not want to hang out with her or be her older brother. So when in the anime, Mahiro is a girl and she starts doing stuff like, you know, making friends, making breakfast in bed for her when she's when Mihari is actually sick, she becomes really overjoyed and very happy for her because, you know, good stuff. And also decides to enlist her in middle school, and there she also actually begins to make more friends, which then eventually leads to her having a sleepover with a bunch of her other friends and also a birthday party and quite a lot of just normal middle school slice of life stuff. And also she meets a character who's also really into Yuri, just like me. Aside from the really goofy story, one thing this anime actually does really well is obviously the animation and the art style, because it just looks so nice all the time. Anytime the character's moving, or any type of visual humor where the character's like moving their head really quickly, or just in general, it just looks really nice and really smooth and stuff. It just looks really great. Also, another thing I'd like to mention is actually throughout the anime you can actually see Mahiro actually playing quite a few games, and the games look really good. And I believe they are actual games, but then again, because I don't know if they are actual games. So if anybody could tell me if they're actual games, please. I'd actually probably like to play a few of them because there's RPGs and some fighting games there, which actually look pretty nice. Also, another great thing I'd like to mention is the humor in this anime, because this anime, despite, you know, being basically just this anime, it's actually really funny, along with it does use some of the really like ecchi things to set up certain jokes. For example, when Mahiro meets Kaide for the first time, it's a pretty odd thing, which then sets up to a pretty okay joke. But still though, it is actually very funny. For example, one of my favorite examples is actually when Mahiro actually meets Momiji for the first time, because she ends up thinking, Mahiro thinks that Momiji is actually a boy, and then proceeds to have an existential crisis about being attracted to a boy, when actually they find out Momiji is actually a girl. It was just quite funny. Obviously earlier I mentioned Mahiro begins to make some friends throughout the anime. So here is the list of every single friend that she makes, kind of. The first character is Kaede, and basically she's a gal character who's Miharu's friend, but then sort of becomes like an older sister to Mihari. And then we have Momoji, who's Kaede's younger sister, and also, as I said before, she meets Mahiro while Mahiro's shopping, and it causes the whole existential crisis joke, which I think is very, very funny. The next character is, I don't know how to say that name, Asahi, no, that's the beer. This character, she really reminds me of Ritsu from K-On! Because, like, she's, in fact, actually, just the way that she acts is basically kind of mirrors Ritsu from K-On! And also the way later on in the stories we find out that actually this character and Momoji have been best friends since childhood, and basically the way they become friends is exactly the same of how Ritsu and Mio from K-On! Become friends. And then we have Mio, who's basically just very, very innocent, but also gets turned on by girl on girl stuff and reads a lot of Yuri. So, in conclusion, overall I think Onimai was actually a very good anime. Despite the fact some edge scenes felt a bit unnecessary, it was overall very, very fun to watch, and I think you guys should totally watch it now. So, anyways, if you want to see me completely bitch about how much I hate a certain anime, please watch this video here. And if you want to see Bakugan Fights Part 3, please click here. Anyways, thank you and goodbye.